What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
South Park principal, PC principal.
Mark, you're the only one.
Yeah, you're the oddball here.
Do I need to go in my car and grab the aviators?
No.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
I'll make that run.
Boomer Live.
Boom.
Boom, all right.
MMA Complete episode 52.
That's an off-script entrance.
Yeah. We are waiting on Dylan, and he's bringing his guest, Ryan. We're going to have a good show today. We got a lot to discuss. We talked about UFC 263 a little bit. I want to talk a couple more things about it today. And obviously, we got UFC 264 coming up in 2 weeks. Quite possibly the biggest trilogy in UFC history. I don't know if it has as much credence as it would if it were to happen like 3 years ago when Conor was still really in his prime. But nonetheless, one of the biggest trilogies, one of the biggest fights of the year. We also have a good fight night coming up this week, and we have some injuries, some cancellations to talk about. So we got all that on deck today and more. We're going to talk about some Fury Wilder a little bit.
All right.
Fury Wilder. I think.
You want to start with that?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I don't have the odds or anything, but Tyson Fury is the heavy favorite on his rematch and the trilogy fight, technically, between him and Deontay Wilder for the heavyweight title of the world boxing. And I'm pretty sure you just said something that's very intriguing. You said, I'll let you say it, but I think that me and Mark are of the same opinion. I think you're different a little bit, or maybe you were just talking about you just want to sprinkle. But either way, you want to just talk about what you just said before we went live?
Yeah, Wilder, it's worth a sprinkle just because, a guy that's only lost one time and drew and went the full distance, I think that's kind of...
What up? Are you talking about...
Hello.
What's going on?
How are you?
Dylan enters the scene.
Hello, listeners.
So, I thought that would be I think it's with the odds the way they are, Fury could definitely just get knocked out, dude, in one punch, just like all his other opponents. Like, it only does take one punch, and Wilder has proved that, 40 times?
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah.
That's a win to believe for Wilder. I agree with you.
You know what I mean? He's proven that he can go the distance, and he's knocked Fury down late in the rounds. You know what I mean? Something that Fury... I mean, he did it early in the rounds, but Wilder's never done that to Fury. So I think...
Well, no, Wilder's knocked down Fury twice.
Yeah.
In their first fight.
No, two in
Fury to Wilder.
Yeah.
Didn't he knock him down in the second fight?
I think Austin's saying Fury's never knocked down Wilder in the late rounds.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
I think
what I'm saying.
Dylan,
sure about that?
In the late rounds.
in the late rounds, he's saying. So like
I mean,
in the
he
first
won the
fight-
round that he got knocked down in, but I mean...
So in the first fight, Fury got knocked down in, I believe, the 9th round or the 10th round and in the last round. The last round is the one that everybody's seen where he gets knocked down and they're like, oh my God, and down goes Fury.
Yeah.
And 5 seconds later, he
Just
got up.
like the Undertaker.
He got up.
Return
Silence.
to the king. The Gypsy King.
And then in the second fight, I think it was the third round, second or the third round, where Fury dropped Wilder for the first time, and then in the next 3 rounds, he dropped him a couple more times. But yes, Fury has never dropped Wilder in the later 3 rounds, I think is Austin's point, which is a decent point. You know, if Wilder can, and we talked about it last week or whenever we last talked about it, but the fact that Wilder only arguably got dropped the first time because it was almost an illegal blow, which technically it was, but the referee didn't say anything. It was behind the ear, which is technically an illegal blow. And that obviously fucked up his equilibrium because after that, Wilder was like, he had no footwork or anything. I think that is a big part. I think if that hadn't happened, I think we would have seen a much closer fight. But Fury, I mean, he has the reason to be confident. He absolutely dominated Deontay Wilder in the second fight. And I think that if he comes into the third fight thinking, I have his number, Wilder can't touch me, I got this, I think it would be an overestimate of his own strength and an underestimate of Deontay Wilder. Because like you said, Wilder's proved against everybody. Klitschko, Slaverne, is that his name? Stavern, and not Joshua. Who's the guy that knocked out Joshua?
Ruiz.
Andy Ruiz Jr. Like, he's knocked all those guys out. So Wilder definitely has the power to it. Fury seems like he's the better clinical boxer, but Wilder has that one punch power. I mean,
he's so fast.
I got Fury. I think Fury's faster than Wilder. I really do.
I think Fury is. He moves like Muhammad.
And
he's
Fury is
huge.
not only that, but Fury's going to come in like 40 pounds heavier. Fury's going to come in 40 pounds heavier.
Yeah. Yeah, they were both looking in good shape at that stare down. The longest stare down ever, by the way.
Yeah, it was like 5 minutes of just staring down.
It was ridiculous.
So
and I was like interested the whole time.
Everybody watching now, or if you're watching this at another time, tweet at us at @complete_MMA. I'll throw it up on the board. Tell us who you think is going to be winning the trilogy fight between. Where is it over here? There it is. Between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder for the heavyweight championship of the world. That was a nice voice, whoever just put. All right. Any more comments on Fury Wilder?
I got Fury.
I got
Fury.
I'm gonna go Wilder.
Fury or Wilder? Yeah.
All right. So we will be right back talking more about UFC, and check out MMA Complete on YouTube, MMA Complete Podcast. Check out Naked Sports on YouTube. Check out Fans Only Sports on YouTube, and follow us right there at @complete_MMA. We live tweet bets now because we're not doing Bet the Deed, and we live tweet for most of the UFC stuff. So it's a good follow. We will be right back.
Cyril Gane versus
Cyril Gane.
Gane. They pronounce it Gane.
I have no idea.
I call it Gane.
He's got to gain.
Dylan-
He's
Dylan's-
got to gain
Alexander
some motivation.
Dylan seems confident enough that I believe him. Yeah. Cyril versus Alexander
Cyril
Volkov.
Gane.
Versus Volkov.
That's an interesting fight. What I found most interesting is that Alexander Volkov is a big dude. He's like 6'7", 250.
Yeah.
And Cyril, the other guy, has a 1-inch reach advantage over Volkov, which I found very interesting. 3-inch height advantage for Volkov, 1-inch reach advantage for the other guy.
Most interesting thing is the experience in the UFC and experience in fighting.
This
You know what I
dude is 8-0.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Yes, he is.
That's it.
He has
That's nice, but it's like
I can't remember exactly how it is. It's something like he has his amateur record is like 19-4, but his professional record's 8-0 or some shit like that. So it's not like he's only had 8 fights. He's had a shit ton, but he was an amateur for a while to get his skills, and then since he became professional, he hasn't lost. I was looking at their records earlier today, and I will tell you that over their last couple fights, both men have been very impressive. They've been dominating the people that they fought. Cyril Gane, I'm just gonna call it Gane. It might be gone, totally might be gone, but I'm just gonna call it
literally
in his last fight against Jairzinho Rozenstruik, he outstruck Rozenstruik by 60. He also had 2 takedowns in his way to a unanimous decision victory over Rozenstruik. Before that, he beat Junior Dos Santos. He outstruck him by 40, 39 technically. And then before that, he outstruck Tanner Boser by over 30. So he's not only been beating people, but he's been dominating people. And then if you look at Volkov outstruck and TKO'd Overeem by 44. He outstruck and kick knockout Walt Harris by 30 strikes.
Oh, the body shot.
And then Volkov's last loss was to Curtis Blaydes. And Curtis Blaydes is one of the top. Curtis Blaydes is one of the top 3 heavyweights in the world right now. So Volkov and Gane are both on fucking great winning streaks, and they're going to clash this weekend. I think it's going to be a really good fight. I just barely want to give this fight to Volkov. This is one that I'm not going to bet on, but I think that Volkov will win. I think Cyril Gane. I watched his fight with Jairzinho Rosenstrike. It was impressive, yeah, but at the same time, Rosenstrike gassed out in rounds like 2.
As Rosenstrike does.
So I thought Cyril Gane proved himself pretty well. One other thing I like about Cyril Gane is that he has 100% takedown defense. He's never been taken down in his professional career. But Volkov isn't really a takedown artist anyway.
Boxer, he came into the UFC as.
Right. So I think that this fight may actually get finished early because of both guys' striking prowess, and I think that Volkov might be able to do it. Just personal opinion. I don't have too strong of an opinion either way on this. I could just see Volkov winning.
All right. Volkov, he used to fight in 205, right? That used to be his division.
No way. He's 6'7".
Or is
Volkov's
he's
always been heavyweight.
All right,
Yeah.
that's I'm thinking of another the co-main, but yeah.
Probably thinking of Alexander Gustafsson.
Yeah. I got Cyril Gane because I think if this fight does end early, it's going to be Cyril Gane by knockout, and
Mhm.
he's proven that time and time again. I do not think this goes 5 rounds. I'd be very surprised if this goes 5 rounds.
Yeah, this dude game, he's fucking.
He is
He's
nice, bro.
fire.
He is nice.
I think he's going to be really good. I just think that he needs a little bit more practice.
Was he not Francis Ngannou's sparring partner? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Cyril Gane was Francis Ngannou's sparring partner for a while.
Big enough dude to get it done.
Yeah.
Sparring.
Yeah, this has the first video pops up is that he was sparring.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were totally partners, but they've definitely had some
Um,
spars.
I like that he has 100% takedown defense. I don't think that really matters with the kickboxer. If anything, that's a bad thing. If he tries to go for a takedown, but I think Cyril Gane is going to outstrike him, and I think the amount of fights Alexander Volkov has taken, his chin's it's probably weak. Probably a little weak.
I don't know.
A truck in the last round of that Derek
Dude,
Lewis fight.
Cyril Gane,
But he
can
got-
punch.
He got knocked out with 11 seconds left in a fight that he was dominating.
He
Derek
was.
Lewis.
I also would
It was such a win.
And that's the only time he's been knocked out in his UFC fights. He lost to Curtis Blades by decision because Curtis Blades took him out 14 fucking
Yeah.
times.
An interesting fight to me is Cyril Gane versus Curtis Blades. That is a fight I kind of want to see because I think Cyril Gane is on that Curtis Blades level.
I think Curtis Blades would humble Cyril Gane.
I would love to see that fight,
I think
and I do think Curtis Blades would win.
my personal opinion is if Cyril Gane can't get that knockout, I see Alexander Volkov outstriking him in the numbers going into a decision. I don't really see Volkov as a guy that's got crazy knockout power either. Like from the fights that I've watched with him, he's
Mhm.
mainly
he's
a point fighter.
right, and he usually has the big reach advantage on everybody. Plus, being that he's 6'7", so he likes to use his legs to keep distance and his jab, obviously.
Very good.
Watch
for a
the
kickboxer.
overhand right. That's all I'm gonna say.
Cyril Gane right now is ranked 3rd in the heavyweight division. That's
Really?
kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is. Pound for pound doesn't mean
Volkov
much,
is
though.
5th. I would not have thought that Cyril Gane would be above Curtis Blades, though. That's my only thing.
I would love to see Cyril Gane.
Curtis Blades got slept by Lewis.
Yeah,
Slept.
he got absolutely.
And he was getting
slept.
fucked up.
Lewis has a habit of getting fucked up and then just knocking the dude out.
That's that power.
I think that's why it'll be fun to see him versus Ngannou for real.
Oh, I'm definitely. I think Ngannou's gonna win, but I'm definitely putting money on Derek Lewis.
So this weekend is actually a very good fight night.
It is.
I'm pretty sure that Tanner Bozer just recently stepped in with this fight against Ovince St. Preux, but that is the co-main event, Bozer versus St. Preux.
It is.
Tanner Bozer, fresh off a loss against Ilir Latifi, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, and then
2-3 weeks ago?
3
that-
weeks ago.
he lost to who's that guy?
Was that Arlovsky?
Yeah,
Was that
Andrei
his? That was his
Arlovsky.
last 2 fights, and then he gets a co-main event fight. That's crazy.
It's his last fight on his contract, and he demanded the fight in July, and the UFC gave him a fight in June, which is interesting. Basically, he's saying that we don't even want you anymore. We just want you to get the fuck out of here.
Probably.
He was upset at the judges.
But you
last
also
time.
have
Yeah.
Rayoni Barcelos, Andre Fili, Daniel Pineda, Tim
I-
Means.
I like Ray.
Renato Moicano.
That fight.
All those fighters fighting in the main card, and then the prelims. You have Kennedy and Zechiku. Do you remember this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Zechiku, yeah.
I can't remember. It was a knockout victory he had that we watched. He was getting messed up by someone, and then out of nowhere, the guy got gassed, and he just landed. And Zechiku landed an uppercut and just knocked him out. I can't remember who that fight was against. But then we got our boy Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Michael Prazeres.
He is our boy.
So this is a pretty loaded fight night card, honestly. Carlos Ulberg, that's who it was. Yeah, 259 was in the Adesanya Blachowicz card. That's right.
Yeah, we had some.
So not the
picks
most
on over.
memorable fight, but Nzechukwu definitely does have power. So you're looking for a knockout, this might be your card for it because there's a lot of big boys fighting this weekend.
Yeah, it's a heavy card. Andre Philly too on it.
And the main
Yeah.
card starts at 4:00.
I'm surprised Andre Philly's low on the list like that under Raoni Barcelos.
Yeah, this is a good fight though. Barcelos, I'm pretty sure, is ranked, and Tamir Valev, who he's fighting, is 17-2. So he's
Bless it.
Bless you. God
Bless
bless
you.
you. Tim Means too versus Nicholas Dalby. It's a good fight. Tim Means, watch out.
who was I just looking for rankings? Raoni Barcelos. I'm pretty sure Barcelos is ranked. No, he's not. So that's probably a fight to see who's stepping in the top 15. Cody Stamann on the verge of being knocked out of the top 15 of the bantamweight division.
That's fair. I haven't heard his name in a long time.
So
Never heard of him.
by the way, we all picked wrong. Chan Sung Jung winning last week. I'm pretty sure. Did anybody have that?
I picked
No.
Chan Sung Jung.
I think
I don't think have it, though.
yeah, I think we all said that Ige. You might have said Jung.
Very surprising. He looked good.
Cheeto Vera dominated Davey Grant in their fight to a 3-round decision, and then Sean O'Malley called him out right away, said he wasn't impressed. Sean O'Malley will be fighting on the next pay-per-view card against Luis Smolka, which is a fight that I'm kind of looking forward to. I think Sean O'Malley
Sean
will
O'Malley's
show.
gonna
Is he
fuck
ranked?
him up,
Smolka?
dude.
Smolka's
No.
not ranked.
No.
Sean
Neither
O'Malley's
of
gonna
them
fuck
ranked.
him up. Sean O'Malley's gonna win by KO.
Yeah, it's
It's a setup.
So we'll get into UFC 264 in a minute because like this weekend, which by the way, next weekend there's no fight card. But like this weekend,
Yeah,
UFC
save up
264 is
my money.
stacked. Stacked.
so 3 weeks is Poirier
2
McGregor.
weeks. Two and a half, yeah. 15 days. 16
And
days.
then after McGregor Poirier, it is or is it Ortega and Volkanovski?
No, that fight's not going to happen until like early 2022
Actually,
because they got to go through all of the Ultimate
Oh.
Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Fighter did start this weekend. You guys didn't watch it?
I'm on like episode
Me neither.
4 or 5.
Yeah, I didn't watch
Is
it.
it on ESPN
You
Plus?
didn't watch it?
It is on ESPN Plus, so I really should check it out.
I have that now too. I might as well watch it.
I'll definitely get more into it towards the end of it. I'm not,
Who do we got? I got
For what?
Volkanovski.
Yeah, I think I
You
got
got
Ortega.
Volkanovski? I
I
got
have
Volkanovski.
Volkanovski.
I have
Yeah.
Volkanovski.
100%. I think Volkanovski loses if he ever fights Holloway again, as I think he should have in the second fight. But
It's close.
I got Volkanovski. I got Holloway as the best featherweight in the world, then Volkanovski, then Ortega.
Ortega, that would be his second fight back in 3 years.
Yeah, Bring Rust is a myth.
Yeah,
What was
GSP
Zabit?
proved that.
They took Zabit off.
Fuck
I
yeah.
mean, you're talking about the greatest
Did
of
they
all time.
take Zabit off?
You're talking about the greatest of all time in Brian Tate.
They did take Zabit off.
Oh
That's
yeah,
interesting.
isn't he out of the UFC?
Is he?
Someone look that up.
Bryce Mitchell's ranked 12th in the featherweight division.
He has
Big
fought
fan
a
of Bryce
while.
Mitchell. I
He
am a
is
big fan of Bryce Mitchell.
Still recovering from that broken hand.
Yeah, that's fucked. That sucks so bad. We almost made $6,000 off of $20. Me and Austin.
Yeah, and then we had that other ticket for $1,500, so it was actually like 10. $9 grand? Yeah, whatever.
All right.
Only 9,000.
So, I guess we can jump right into UFC 264.
Jump right in.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I want to get to real quick before we start it because we can go on for 264 for so long. So I'm actually going to run a quick ad. Thank everybody for watching. Check out MMA Complete Podcast every Thursday night at 8 p.m. on Naked Sports and Fans Only Sports Network. Also go follow us on Twitter at complete_MMA and follow us on YouTube but MMA Complete Podcast on YouTube. Go follow us on Twitter because we've been picking up steam on Twitter and it's a lot of fun. We go put our bets on there and stuff.
Shout out Kevin Gastelum.
So make sure, shout out Kevin Gastelum for hooking it up, and Terrence McKinney too on Twitter. So we will be right back. Thank everybody for watching. All right, so hopping back into shit. UFC 264 coming live July 10th. That is probably, I would have to assume, the highest selling pay-per-view of 2021. Even though there's been some crazy pay-per-views so far.
Yeah, really though.
Adesanya Diaz, how many pay-per-views buys that got? Only 690,000.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive.
You
Look it
said
up.
that the other day. That seems so low.
I think I read that. It was off.
Yeah, it was kind of like.
Well, when you have a guy like Marvin Vittori, and no disrespect to Marvin
He's a
Vittori.
boring fighter when he fights. Like the way he was trying to fight, it would have been a boring
He
fight.
tried to trash talk too, and he just couldn't do it. 600, yeah.
Yeah, but this is
That's
saying-
units though. 600,000.
500,000 in the United States alone.
I feel like that's. Yeah, when you look at UFC 262, did 300,000 buys. So 261, Masvidal Usman did 700,000. So yeah, I guess 600,000 is good buys. That's why I was saying that the other day. You know what we got confused at? We're thinking of gate. Thinking of gate. When you think of gate, that's when you hit like the millions. Like
I wasn't confused. I knew it was 690,000
right,
buys for
but
pay-per-views.
what that's saying is that the buy that's really good for buys.
It's decent.
I don't know. It's pretty bad, don't you think? For Adesanya, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's pretty
Considering Masvidal Usman with 700,000, it's not too bad.
bad. See what Nick
Right.
Paul's pulling? Over $1 million.
Yeah.
No way.
Over $1 million.
Yeah, but
Who the hell is buying that shit, though?
kids.
Children
Isn't that
yelling at
social media?
Children
Kids?
screaming at their parents. Literally, I guarantee you, those are the worst children to raise.
So another interesting thing is Jake Paul is going to fight Tyron Woodley,
Yeah.
and in the contract he has a clause that if he loses, he gets a rematch right away. So
Wait,
first time
say
he's
that
done
again. Who gets it? Jake
Jake
Paul
Paul.
gets a rematch.
If
That's
he
fucking
loses.
hilarious.
I hope Tyron smokes that motherfucker.
Dude,
But-
he has the best chance to.
Yeah, well, definitely got the best hands out of anybody that Jake Paul's even probably sparred with.
When you say the best hands, though, I'm glad that you guys brought this
The
up because
biggest
I've been
power,
wanting to
that's
talk
what I
about it.
mean.
It's power.
he might be
Power,
able to,
exactly.
Woodley's
He's
not a good
Exactly.
boxer.
he might be able to sharpen up his boxing enough, though.
When's the fight scheduled for? Is it August?
That's what we're jumping into.
Yeah, for sure. August 28th. So he has 2 months.
He's
2 months
already-
plus some,
It's but yeah, a
which
little
is
over
more
a
than
month.
Ben Askren got.
And Ben Askren also had 0 for hands.
0.
I'm willing to say I could beat up Ben Askren on the hands. I'm willing to say that.
I see your point. Woodley.
I'd pay to see that. Yeah, I'd pay.
Here's the thing, though. Woodley is older than Ben Askren. I'm pretty sure. Woodley's like 39.
He is 39.
Pretty sure he's 39. Woodley's also been knocked the fuck out in his last couple fights. Vicente Luque, Gilbert Burns. Usman and Colby didn't knock him out. Or actually, Colby TKO'd him on the ground.
Yeah.
And Usman just went to a decision. Woodley's a wrestler.
And a rapper.
Woodley is a wrestler.
And a rapper.
He's not a rapper. He's as much of a rapper as he is a boxer, which is saying something for Jake Paul.
That's a compliment to his rapping.
Yeah,
It absolutely is. I think that Jake Paul is smart for booking the fighters that he fights against. I really do. Who was it before Ben Askren? Who did he fight?
Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson. That's right. That was fucking.
No, not at the time. You were choosing Nate
That's
Robinson.
nothing.
You were Nate Robinson.
I did not choose
Yes,
Nate
you did.
Robinson.
Okay, we're gonna go back.
Yeah, absolutely, because I definitely did not choose Nate Robinson. And then Ben Askren's a 40-year-old with a hip replacement that was getting paid. And I guarantee you, one
chose-
difference.
That you chose.
I chose
did.
Nate Robinson.
I chose Ben Askren.
I
I'll-
chose
100%.
I chose Nate, and then I chose Jake.
Jake Paul. Fucked him up.
You didn't choose Ben Askren?
Hell no. Hell no.
But when you look at one of the bigger differences, I
You
think
convinced
that
me on that.
I
Show
think
me
that
a
Wood
video.
I think that Woodley is going to be more motivated than Ben Askren is to beat Jake Paul. I think Ben Askren was really in it for the money.
Yeah.
I think he would if he could dance around them, he was going to try to. But Woodley, first of all, will not be getting paid the highest purse of his career. I can guarantee you that because
he
he
is.
was. No, he's not.
It's
He
just
is.
he didn't
came out
release
and
a
said
number.
that.
He didn't
He
release
came
a
out and
number
said
though.
that.
He can come out and say that all he wants, but he was getting paid like $4 million when he was welterweight champion. There's no way. If he gets paid over $4 million, good for him, but I doubt it.
It's
Against
that's
Jake Paul.
about that's
I
about
don't know.
champion wages on a pay-per-view night.
Right. And he was at one point like the best welterweight, like
thought-
top 3 pound for pound in the
Beat
world.
Thompson twice.
How
Nate Drew.
How
the
much do
first
you
time, I
think Nate Diaz got paid?
To
Oh,
just
it was-
fight Leon Edwards, I think it was like $800K.
210,000.
It was 210. I thought it was over a fucking
Leon
million.
Edwards 175K.
And
I
so
saw a
yeah,
thing
going
on
back to
Twitter.
the point, Woodley is, I think, more motivated to beat him because Jake Paul actually was talking shit to Woodley. So I think Woodley's actually gonna like try his damnedest, whereas Ben Askren was like walking out of the ring after getting knocked out, smiling and shit because he didn't really care.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's something to be said about Jake Paul is a skilled boxer. I think he has skills and he's been training for it. You know, he's not anything like. Did you see that Did you see what he said today?
No.
Jake Paul.
what?
I can't believe I didn't mention this to you. When we were playing basketball, I was looking at my phone, or it might have been before you showed up. Jake Paul says, I'll find the quote before I say it because I want to get this completely right because it's just absurd.
Does he think he's a god tier boxer?
Yes.
Oh, gross.
I don't know if
But
he
he's
does.
saying it-
You know he's saying it just for publicity.
Yeah,
I
no.
just really
Well,
believe
that's
it.
exactly. He's pulling a Floyd Mayweather. People want to see Floyd get knocked out. Guess what? People will pay to see Jake Paul get knocked out.
That is true.
You know what I mean?
Floyd, honestly, I think not knocking out, even though he is a smaller fighter and he was down by like 45, 50 pounds, him not just, I don't know.
Yeah, being
I
able to
see
do
that
it-
fight lowering his GOAT status.
No, I don't. I
Right.
think it slightly doesn't improve it, but
You got to
doesn't-
think there's
doesn't-
somebody on the planet
it doesn't
who could
hurt
get
it.
it done. Like walk out there and just fucking
Steamroll. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
you got to think that person would have to be able to do something to Floyd.
I know that's what I mean. Like someone and 40 pounds heavier and 6 inches taller. I like. He's a goat for taking it.
All right.
Eh.
So here's the quote from Jake Paul. Jake
Yeah,
Paul
I respect it.
told TMZ, "Look, if you asked me if this is quote, look, if you asked me if I was going to be where I am 3 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you. I don't even want to think about or cap myself with the possibilities. I'm open-minded, and I think anything is possible.
Cat.
I think I could be fighting against Canelo Alvarez for the WBC or WBO championship belt. Really, the sky is the limit. It's just about how serious I'm going to take it. More seriously than 99.9% of these professional boxers out there."
I would love to see
What
that.
the
How old
hell's
is
wrong
Jake
with
Paul?
him?
Is he 20?
I think he's 26.
I would love to see that.
Carnelo will.
Carnelo.
He will mess him up, bro.
Canelo would fucking
Canelo. Sorry.
24.
abolish
Jake Paul's
him.
24.
He would eviscerate him. He would remove
Take it
his
a little
existence
bit,
from this
you know,
world.
continue.
Right. If he
Fights
kept
actual
training and
boxers.
kept progressing for 5, 6, 7
It's a
years,
decent start.
I don't think he's up there, but I think he has a chance.
Versus Canelo.
No, to get in the ring with Canelo. I don't think he ever has a chance to beat him, but I think he has a chance to get in the ring with
Canelo, who
Canelo.
knows? Canelo might be fucking old as hell by the time he's
Oh,
7
he
years
would
ready.
be.
Yeah.
Canelo's what, 31 right now? He's like in his prime right now, Canelo.
Yeah.
Triple G. But yeah, Jake Paul says that he thinks he could compete for the WBC. And you know what? Here's the one thing. The reason you can see Jake Paul competing with Canelo for a title isn't because Jake Paul is a good boxer. It's because he sells pay-per-views. That's it. That's the only reason he'd ever make it.
Boxing needs it.
Yeah.
I believe.
And you know what's even crazier? Canelo Alvarez, last fight, he fought in May.
He eviscerated
Did you guys
him.
hear about it?
Yeah, he broke the guy's fucking jaw.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but like maybe once or twice. Yeah, he did. I want to say in the 9th round, he threw an uppercut that fractured the jaw of the guy, and it stopped the fight.
His head work is beautiful, Canelo's.
Oh my God, it's like Adesanya would be
He got better after
proud.
Yeah,
Floyd. Better after
I
Floyd.
So
don't know about that, man.
Canelo's last fight
Boxing on the sun.
sold something like just over 1 million pay-per-views, and he got paid $36 million.
Canelo.
A lot more advertising, maybe.
It's just boxing. boxing,
Bigger sport for sure.
Showtime, and the WBC sanctions have so much money from the 90s, 80s, 2000s, Floyd, whatever, that these fucking boxers are making that much money. At least Canelo is, because Canelo is the biggest boxer on the planet right now.
Yeah.
The biggest professional, legitimate championship boxer on the planet right now.
36 mil.
You look at Floyd Mayweather. 24 minutes with Logan Paul, dude made $120 million. Michael Jordan made $90 million in his career.
I know, ain't that crazy?
And Floyd Mayweather made 1 1/4 of that in 24 minutes against a Nickelodeon star. Like, boxing is
That is
just
crazy,
a
huh?
completely different monster.
That's
Hey,
crazy.
Disney, get it right.
Whatever.
How much
You're right.
did he make on McGregor? It was like 300 mil, dude.
I thought,
It
was
was
like
yeah.
300 mil.
That is
I mean, he
crazy.
was-
No, I think it was 500. I think Conor made like 300 mil.
Yeah.
I think Floyd made almost a bill.
That's insane money for fighting somebody.
It is. It is ridiculous. And you know what?
I thought
The
Conor made
reason-
$100 million, and Floyd made 3
The
million.
reason for this is because boxing, the state of boxing right now, the highest percentage of watchers of boxing or followers is that 50 to 70 or 45 to 70 age men. And now you got the Jake Pauls and you got Floyd Mayweather's talking shit. And you got Logan Paul and you have all this going on, and that gets 20-year-olds interested in it.
Mhm.
And that's why they're getting paid this much, because it's bringing not only a larger viewership now, but it's making a future for boxing viewership
It's
going
bringing,
forward.
It's bringing boxing and MMA together.
It is and it isn't.
What do you
MMA
mean? He's fighting Tyron Woodley.
MMA
They
is
got
relevant.
Dana White talking about it all the time.
It's not relevant for true credibility in boxing if you beat an MMA fighter. That's the way I look at it.
And the same can go the other way. Do you remember?
Yeah, totally.
Do you remember Randy Couture, James Toney? I think we've talked about this.
Who's that
before.
man who had the one glove?
Oh my God, I can't remember his name.
That dude
But
was
he got taken down by Hoist Gracie, and he was just in like half guard, and he tapped out because he didn't know what he
He
was
got
doing.
nervous.
That was the
like-
first tournament, and that was UFC 1.
I'm pretty sure he said that he was afraid that Royce Gracie was just going to pull some crazy
Yeah,
move and kill him.
guy went into the ring with one boxing glove. Fucking savage. But yeah, boxing is becoming more mainstream because of Jake Paul, Floyd Mayweather, and Logan Paul. Like, that's just what it is. Canelo hasn't sold shit for pay-per-views in the last 3 years. And this kid, Jake Paul, who is just now getting to Showtime, Showtime,
Yeah.
has maybe as many pay-per-view buys as Canelo has in the last 5 years off like 1 or 2 fights. It is nuts. And in a way, it is, I don't want to say disappointing, but it is,
Puts a shame to the great fighters' names.
what's the word I'm trying to think of here? It's like you hate to see it. You hate to see it. That's what it is.
That's a good word.
I agree, Zach.
I like
It really is.
Especially since he's such a douchebag.
But here's the thing.
The act,
but
I
here's,
understand. It's
no,
an act.
right, exactly.
It is
Like
definitely
It's like the Kobe
6 years
Covington
ago.
act, too.
6 years ago, that's what people saying about Connor. Dude's a douchebag. Like, yeah, he's good, but he's a douche.
Well,
That's what everybody was saying.
Well,
and
Jake
then
loved
after
it.
2
People
years
loved it,
and he
though.
got to the title, then they were like, oh, yeah, he's the shit. No, but when they first came to the UFC, people didn't like Connor because he was a shit talker.
He backed up his words.
Absolutely. And
And
Jake
so far,
Paul
Jake
so
Paul's
far
a
has.
Yeah. He's got a Connor tattoo now. He's got his name tattooed.
How far can Jake Paul go? I can't believe we're talking about Jake Paul this much. He doesn't deserve it. How far can Jake Paul go? Not fighting actual boxers.
Yeah.
Like, who's he gonna box next? If he beats
Tyron
Tyron
Woodley.
Woodley. No, I know. If he beats Tyron Woodley, which he could, I give him at least a 50% chance. He's probably gonna be the favorite, and I wouldn't be mad.
Everybody wants a piece of him. That's the thing. He's got whoever he wants to
I
fucking
bet-
sign the
I
contract.
know,
Woodley
but
just
he
fight.
has booked his fights smartly so far that he's not boxing boxers. He's
No, yeah,
boxing
no.
wrestlers,
He
and he's
will
boxing
has-
38-year-old guys.
His manager.
No, I'll keep doing this as long as I can.
So who's next for him? You know, does he fight?
Mike Bisping.
Oh, while we're
DC?
talking boxing real quick,
Yeah. I'd love to
while we're
see
talking boxing real quick, did you guys see Anderson Silva?
Yeah, that was sick, bro.
Yeah.
He looked
Dude,
so
Anderson
good.
Silva beat Julio Cesar Chavez,
it. Really?
who is, I mean, he retired 2 years ago, but Julio Cesar Chavez was like I think a championship level middleweight boxer.
He was former
And he's
champion.
40. Anderson Silva's 44. And Anderson Silva unanimously decision beat him in 8 rounds. Fucking salute to you, Spider. That's so
Go.
crazy. That's so
Badass.
crazy.
If Jake Paul can't fight Anderson Silva next.
Oh my God, Jake Paul would get creamed.
You
if
think
he,
so?
Yes.
I think Anderson Silva might
Absolutely.
get knocked out.
And with what Anderson
Absolutely.
just did to that Julio Cesar Chavez,
Bro, that would be
Chavez
a
is
fight.
a legit boxer.
yeah, he would.
You know-
I don't think Paul would be.
Anderson Silva would take that fight with Jake Paul.
Yeah, he would.
Anderson Silva
Jake
just
Paul
wants to
that
fight.
Jake
That
Paul
might
wants
be
fight.
that might be the most Anderson Silva ever got paid.
Yeah.
It really might be.
Yeah.
I doubt Anderson Silva's ever gotten paid more than $2 million for any fight.
Probably.
There's no
But
way.
he's main evented a lot of fights.
Right, but he was main evented in 2008 when championship fights were like $250K.
Chael Sonnen, I think, made hit with that match the
Probably.
first million pay-per-view sales.
Probably.
That's what I think that was.
No, the first million pay-per-view sales was
That's
UFC
not
100.
What
Craig
is it?
Mir, Brock Lesnar too.
Oh yeah, Brock.
Go
And then
ahead, baby.
and then Ronda Rousey did it a couple times, and then Conor just blew everybody
Dude,
away.
Ronda Rousey. What a hype train that was. That was so awesome.
She was amazing.
No,
she was amazing. No, yeah, like I hopped on that train all day. Still
Here's the
like-
thing. Here's the thing. Yeah, she was amazing, but she was also miles ahead of her time. Like when the UFC women's divisions actually got stacked and full of good competitors, we saw that she was an above average fighter, but she wasn't a great fighter. You know, when she first came into fruition, and you had a Kat Zingano who's good, and you had a Miesha Tate who's
Mhm.
good, but then again, Miesha Tate was 23 at the time. Ronda Rousey was 26 and already a judo world champion,
Yeah,
and like a
gold medalist.
jiu-jitsu black belt.
Yeah.
And she was fighting, I don't want to say amateur women, but they weren't of the caliber. And then once the women's division got the credit and acclaim that Ronda Rousey brought to it, that's when Dana White started bringing in all these new fighters. And then you see 2 years later, and Ronda Rousey just fell right the fuck out of the
The
UFC.
They
fault
brought more
of Ronda
boxing
Rousey, she wasn't one dimensional, but she only had one plan when it was going to fight.
Oh my god!
I
Get
think-
that armbar.
Yeah, get that armbar.
That was it.
It was like
Best
something
in the world
crazy.
at
Like
it.
I think
13 wins by armbar. Was that? Let me check.
Something like that. I know she had one TKO, but other
Yeah.
than that, I think they were all armbars.
Dude, she was so fun to watch. Dude, just like
She has.
you know what she's gonna do.
She has a top
and she
5.
does it, and she's prying that arm. She's prying it. She's working it, and then she finally gets it. It's sick.
She has a top 5 quickest submission in UFC history. It's like
In the,
14 seconds.
Wow, she's actually got more KOs than she does armbar.
Is that right?
In the UFC, yeah. She had 1 KO, 2 KO, 3 KO, and then nope, it's 3 for 3.
What's that?
Armbar, TKO, 2 KO, 2 KO.
Really? She only had 6 victories in the UFC? That's
No.
surprising.
Strike Force too. If you want to
Okay.
count Strike Force.
Really? So that's including Strike Force?
No, that's not including Strike Force.
All right. Let's check this real quick. So Rousey's 12-2.
Oh, Strike Force is all arm bars. It's 4 arm bars at Strike Force.
Yep. Yes, it is.
That's crazy.
And then she has 2 armbar. No, she has 3 armbar victories and 3 TKOs in the UFC. So yeah, you're right. And then she got knocked out twice.
Rip. By the 2 fucking toughest men in the women's division.
Well, Holly Holm was another one. She wasn't. She just had the kryptonite because she had good takedown defense. So Ronda couldn't do anything. She had to stand up. And then Holly Holm had such a reach advantage on her that as soon as she landed that fucking kick, it was done.
And Amanda Nunes.
And Amanda Nunes, yeah.
She abolished her.
Right.
She ruined her life.
She, as they say it, put the nail in the coffin.
Amanda Nunes is to women's divisions now what Ronda Rousey was to women's divisions when they first came into the UFC.
No,
Dude, Amanda Nunes, give it like 6 more wins, dude. I might just call her the flat out GOAT all around.
Well, she's already the GOAT of women mixed martial
Yeah,
arts.
oh, yeah.
For sure. And I would put her at least in the top 10 of all around MMA.
Yeah.
And she's really budging on top 5.
Could she ever
Bro,
break the top?
What she did to Megan Anderson.
so
I know, but okay,
Yeah.
Megan Anderson. That was her 3rd fight in the UFC.
Right.
3rd fight in the
well,
UFC, and she
Ronda,
fought the champ.
I mean,
She's running out of
It was
people to
just
fight.
so
Yeah.
quick.
That's the problem. She's running out of people
but
to
she's
fight.
multi-divisional already.
do we
She
think
Shevchenko twice?
Ronda Rousey?
Ronda Rousey, yeah.
Holmes.
Fucking Holly Holmes.
This is when you need to go to
Honestly,
another.
I think her only
another.
lost is
Early in her career.
Zingano.
They need to go to another company and get.
Zingano is her latest loss. She had 1 loss in Strike Force as well.
So
Well, she
she's
had a couple
beatable.
loss. She's 21-4 actually.
She's beatable. It's just like who?
I don't know.
That is some
It's
fucking
gonna
record she
happen.
has, man. That is some record. Shayna Baszler, Sarah McMahon, Valentina Shevchenko, Misha Tate, Ronda Rousey, Valentina Shevchenko, Raquel Pennington, Kristan Justino, Holly Holm, Jermaine Durandamy, Felicia Spencer, Megan Anderson. That is a fucking resume.
That is.
That is.
That is like everybody.
I want to see.
Does she have a Misha Tate?
Yes, she does have Misha Tate. And you know what?
Everyone. Except for
Find a
Ronda.
kryptonite
You can
game.
argue. I would argue that Amanda Nunes has never fought in the better of the weight classes for women's divisions because she's never been a flyweight. She's always been bantamweight and featherweight. Flyweight is where you got Rose, Wiley Zhang, and that's where Valentina Shevchenko normally is. Shevchenko went up to fight Nunes, and you got young Jacek. So she's never fought any of those girls, and those girls are on their primes right now. I would love to see young Jacek gain 10 pounds and go fight Nunes.
Oh, she's not tall enough though. Nunez is like 5'7".
Nunes is 5'8". Yep.
Yeah, she's 5'8". One Jacek, I'm pretty sure is 5'5", maybe 5'4".
Let's see. Might take me a second here.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
I don't know. I wish that we could see her go all fucking 4 divisions, but it's impossible.
wouldn't it? Well,
It's
if you're
impossible,
Amanda Nunes, you're thinking to
much
yourself,
weight to
why
cut.
the fuck would I go down? Like,
Yeah,
no, I'm
exactly.
not going down. These girls got to come up for me,
Why she's gonna suffer? Yeah.
of course, and you can't blame her for it either.
No.
How do you think you spell young Jacek's name?
Good luck. Just put Joanna.
Warren
It's like spelled Jirdik.
Jeter Zedkick. Joanna is 5'6". She's only 2 inches shorter.
5'6".
If she gained 10 pounds, she could go to bantamweight and fight Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, and
Has she
get,
ever
and get
fought
wrecked.
fucked up?
I don't think she's ever gone to bantamweight, and I don't think it would be that bad of a fight. I think young Jacek has.
It'd be a good fight.
It's tough because like Joanna,
I don't pick a Nunes.
Oh yeah.
she's only been knocked out once, which is
Rose.
crazy. By Rose.
Doug Rose.
Who do you have in that next fight? I know we're getting. Oh well, no, we don't have to get into that. That's what we're getting off.
What
track,
next
but
fight?
Rose versus
rematch?
Yeah, the rematch.
Zhang?
I got Rose again. I had Rose the first time.
Do we give it to Zhang?
I don't know. I think I'm still with the Zhang train.
The Zhang train.
I don't know who I pick. I think I'm picking
Rose kind
Zhang.
of fucking pieced it.
It's no kind of about it. Rose banged
Did
that
piece
bitch
it.
up. Banged her.
First woman, but second person ever to retain the title.
This is I want to get into UFC 264, and we can go on later than an hour. I just want to, for time constraints, I want to limit this, but I just wanted to get your opinion because I said it earlier. If you guys had to say it, and we don't have to be too exact about it because I'm sure we'll forget someone, but if you could name your top 5 women mixed martial artists of all time, I'd be interested in hearing it.
Rose, Ronda, Nunez.
We all got Nunes number 1. I hope.
Nunes,
Yeah.
well, Rousey.
I want to hear.
You
Who do you
remember
guys have for 2?
Chris Cyborg.
Oh, I was
Remember her?
yes.
Yeah.
Cyborg's my 2.
Holmes, maybe.
No.
No, I
For
would
me,
put
But
personally. I would put Shevchenko at 3.
oh yeah, I totally forgot about Shevchenko.
I would put
Put
Shevchenko at 3.
4. I know.
I got fucking Nunez.
I put her
I got
5, maybe.
Rousey, and then I got Shevchenko until she comes up a little bit more, and then I got
You said Cyborg. So
Cyborg, and then Rose.
you're putting Cyborg at 4.
No, 5.
Putting Rose at 4. Cyborg at 5.
Who has Shevchenko lost to besides Nunes?
Just Nunes.
Yeah, see, I think it's Nunes, Shevchenko.
Mhm.
Some
I got Nunes, Cyborg, Shevchenko, Rousey. Yeah, I guess Rose is there. It's tough because you want to put it to someone who's been a little bit more experienced. And I
Yeah.
get Rose is a 2-time champion when she's the only 2-time champion besides Nunes because she has 2 different belts. But, like, how about a Jermaine Durandamy? How about a Juliana Pena who's been around for fucking ever? How about Kat Zingano? Like, I get it. They haven't held titles, and Rose has 2. But Rose also has losses. Rose has lost like 4 times in the UFC.
Pereira fucking slammed her right. What's her name?
Jessica Andrade.
Yeah, Andre.
Jessica Andrade knocked her out. Sorry. So yeah, I guess I would put Rose at 5. You have to.
I'd
She's
put Rose
2-time
at
champ.
5.
Yeah.
She retained the title. She proved.
I'm glad that you said Chris Cyborg though. That was gonna be my like fucking. How about that?
Spade.
Yeah, that would be my spade, right? Just an interesting thought. I was thinking about. One of these days, I want to do a top 10 MMA list because I don't know if you guys remember this when we were still doing Roadie Sports Show, and the first MMA podcast we did. You were here and you were here. I don't think you were here, and I think maybe Nate was here with us or something. We did that. We did like a 2-hour podcast on the Roadie Sports Show about UFC, and we did our top 10 MMA all-time list.
You did 2 hours? Oh, wow.
Yeah, we did 2 hours. So that was like a year ago. So I want to try to do it another time. I
Okay.
think that would be sick.
Yeah, set that. I'm writing that down beforehand. Gotta
Yeah,
do some
no, we can
meditation
definitely,
on
like,
that.
if you guys want to think about it. I mean, next week there's no cards. So we're going to be talking about UFC 264, obviously. But we still have 2 podcasts before 264. So if you guys want, we can do next week. We can do a list. I think that'd be really cool. And then the week after that, we really get into 264. And we'll obviously
I'm
talk
game
about
for that.
264.
We got
The question is, should you include steroids?
This is what I think we should do. I think we should all make our own lists.
Okay.
And then
We're gonna talk about
the
it.
show is we're coming together to make a
Do you
combined.
know who we said? Like, do you remember?
I will go look it up.
Yeah.
It won't take me long.
I will guarantee you, none of us put Usman up on there,
That's a good point.
and I bet you we
Usman.
all will this time.
Ooh, I kind of want to make my list right now, man. But no, we'll save it for next week. We'll definitely save it for next week.
First thing I thought of.
Usman top 10.
Where's
If he's top 10
is Adesanya up there?
I don't think he is yet.
I think
I think he
Yeah, we
is
said
either. I don't know. You got to go
Actually-
through all of them.
Yeah.
Dude, I think we did like a top 20 list actually last
Like
time.
to the
Because I think our top
to the
10.
Gracies, to the fucking to the
I wouldn't
to the
put-
Brock Lesnar's. To
Listen.
I
I'm a
would
big
talk-
Hoist Gracie guy. I'm a big Hickson Gracie guy, but I wouldn't put either of them in my top 10. I
Randy
don't think.
Couture would definitely be up there.
everybody. It was just a
Maybe.
He's up there.
Let me ask you this: in a top 10, who would you rank? Not top 10, top 30, because
Chuck
neither of
Liddell?
these guys are top 10.
was Chuck
Who
Liddell
would you
up there?
rank? I don't think Liddell's top 10. I think he's up there though.
He's like
20,
probably like-
top 20, maybe 20.
I would
He's in the
put
20s.
I would put a Rashad Evans above Chuck Liddell.
About
You know
Rampage
what I mean?
Jackson.
I wouldn't
yeah.
put Rampage up there. Rampage was never UFC champ.
Yeah, true.
What was I just gonna say? Can't remember what I was just gonna say now.
bet you Stipe is going to be lower.
No, he's lower on the.
I
10
think
list,
Stipe's top 10.
Yeah.
I think he's the greatest heavyweight of all time.
He is. Well, it's a fact. Until Ngannou,
Here's my
solidifies.
Here's my thing, and you guys might agree, you might not. DC is not on my top 10. I'm already gonna say that right
That's
now.
fine.
He's not on my top 10.
That's what I was thinking in my head. That's borderline. Right?
I don't think he
he's
is.
one of the few that's been double champ though.
He's a champ,
But
but
it was
only because
paper
John
champ,
Jones was
yeah.
out.
Yeah, John.
Only
Jones got
because
that.
John Jones was out. Was he heavyweight champion?
John Jones is up there.
John Jones.
That's going to be our biggest point of contention. We got to work our
It's
way
gonna be
from
1 or
15.
2
No, we got.
Is he though?
or 3.
Or
I say-
3?
I say-
He's in the
or
top
4.
3.
I say
There's
1 to 15.
JBJ.
there's 4.
I say we do a 15 list.
Okay.
No, let's do a 10. No,
Can we
15
just
would
talk
be
about
interesting.
top 4 right now?
Let's do both.
let's do 5.
You guys are gonna hate me when I say Khabib
You guys are.
isn't as high up.
Oh
on
my
the list.
God, I forgot about Khabib. Now, okay, so John Jones could be as low as 5. And if you said, because I know that you put him lower because of his failed drug test, which I have no problem
Yeah.
with. So I could see how you would put him 5 because you have George St. Pierre.
We're talking about it.
You have. This is such a
Yeah,
baby
I
topic.
went down the
let's
rabbit
get into it. Let's get into it. Let's save
All
this
right.
for a podcast. We could do a
All
whole
right.
podcast.
I know,
Do you,
we
you
could
guys
do-
want to save it for next week?
We could do
Yeah,
a whole
okay.
pod on this.
What
shit.
else? Did we even talk about Poirier McGregor?
Not yet.
No, we were gonna. Well, that's what we can
We're gonna
finish
talk
on.
about the
That's what we're
card,
gonna talk
dude.
about.
Close up.
All right. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will be back to talk about UFC 264. Make sure you tune in next week where we obviously go over our top 15 all-time list. That's going to be a good show. So go check out Naked Sports on YouTube. Check out Fans Only Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Go follow us on YouTube at MMA Complete Podcast, and go follow us on Twitter at Complete_MMA, where we've been live tweeting our bets for not only MMA, but a lot of other sports. And we also go in depth with all the fights for the fight nights and for the pay-per-views. We will be live streaming UFC 264 live 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. on July 10th, as we do for every other pay-per-view. So come check that out.
Might do a couple polls.
Yeah.
for the pay-per-view.
So follow us at complete_MMA right here.
Heidi's, I think. Yeah,
Go buy the Cucina de Cafarina pasta sauce. It's better than your mama's gravy. I'm just telling you that right now. Go ahead and fight me on it. 5.0. You're not going to get a better sauce out of the jar from a store than Cucina de Cafarina.
All right, boom, we're live. We're going to be talking about UFC 264 coming up now. So obviously headlined by Conor versus
Who's
Poirier,
that?
the trilogy.
Who's Conor?
Okay. So July 10th, starting at 10 p.m., the main card goes live. Poirier and McGregor.
I got McGregor.
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 I got Poirier.
Okay.
Betting.
You switched, didn't you? Or
Betting-
have you said
betting-
McGregor?
I picked
I'm not
Poirier
betting
way
on
back,
this.
and then I switched to McGregor, and now I'm sticking McGregor.
I'm not-
even though he lost the last
McGregor
fight.
will have better odds.
I think if
I
he
am-
keeps the center of the octagon,
He
he
does have
switches up
better
the
odds.
stance and checks the kicks, he can get out of the takedowns. And I think they're pretty even on the hands, but I see McGregor coming
I
out.
think
on top.
I
McGregor's
see
faster on the hands.
stamina-wise going into the fifth, McGregor.
I'm so confident in
I don't
Poirier.
know about that.
I'm so confident in
Are you
Poirier.
gonna? Are you?
We gotta buy the hot sauce. We
you
totally
bet
forgot
the
to do that.
Yeah, we
we
did.
got to.
We do have to get the hot sauce.
You gotta ship that in. I got Amazon.
I have not wavered. As soon as Poirier McGregor started talking shit about Conor didn't donate to the charity and all that, right after the second fight, I was like, Poirier's winning. Not gonna waver. I'm 100% on Dustin
A
Poirier.
betting man
Respect.
picks Poirier, but I'm not choosing anybody.
Co-main event: Gilbert Burns, Stephen Thompson.
Awesome.
Ooh.
I'm big. I love this fight, and I will be completely honest. I have no idea how this is gonna go.
I think
I'll guess.
I got Gilbert Burns.
No idea.
I got Gilbert Burns too.
Is all around. You know, he's a great striker and he can take it right down. But Stephen Thompson's one of the best strikers.
He's one of the
strikers
best
in MMA.
strikers.
Best strikers.
He's
in MMA.
also really good on takedown defense.
Yeah, he can
Really
keep
good
that
on
little man
takedown
away.
defense. He's also a lot longer than Gilbert Burns, and he has a good chin.
Yeah, he does have a great
He
chin.
doesn't have a lot of power, but he has precision, and he has kicks that are fucking phenomenal.
Who's Stephen Thompson's last fight? Also got to remember
Jeff
that fight
Neal.
with Pettis.
Jeff Neal.
It was Jeff Neal.
He off.
He stepped in for Neil Magny, if I'm not mistaken.
Doesn't take much to sleep.
What is the
Stephen
reach
Thompson.
disadvantage?
It takes a
after-
lot to
after
sleep,
this?
Steven. He just got caught very, very bad by that.
True. He did get
So
caught.
Stephen
Right.
Thompson is on a 2-fight win streak. He beat Vicente Luque by unanimous
Pettis
decision,
did
and he beat
Superman
Jeff
No, he
Neal.
lost by Pettis. He lost to Pettis.
Yeah, Pettis did the Superman elbow.
Yeah, he
Off the
lost to
cage.
Pettis. He beat Vicente Luque, and he beat Jeff Neal. And then he lost to Pettis in 2019, and he lost to Darren Till in 2018.
By decision.
He beat Jorge. He lost to Tyron Woodley for Woodley's last title defense in
No,
2017.
I would put Darren Till and Gilbert Burns close. Very similar fighting styles. Very similar fighters.
It is.
And
Till
I
and who?
can't. Darren Till
Mm.
and Gilbert Burns.
No,
But Till is not in welterweight anymore.
Yeah, obviously.
they're not.
Weight.
They're not very similar.
Is he-
Gilbert
is he
Burns is just
light
a
heavy?
superior grappler, and he's more of a
Is he
brawler
light heavy?
type of.
No,
I think
Darren
Gilbert
Till's
Burns
no
could
way.
knock out Stephen Thompson.
I think he could knock it out.
Yeah, I think
I think Stephen Thompson. I think his striking's so good. I just don't think it's enough to keep Gilbert Burns away. What's the reach on these peeps?
I'm rooting Wonder Boy. I think Gilbert Burns takes him down. Actually,
4-inch reach advantage for Thompson.
Ooh.
He's also a good 2 to 3 inches taller.
I don't think Gilbert Burns is going to get it done by submission.
I think
Stephen
Gilbert
Thompson's
Burns
got
is gonna
great
win.
Defense all around, definitely. He's got those long arms. It's gonna be hard to like.
Get in close.
It's definitely gonna be hard to get.
Steven Thompson's also 38. Gilbert Burns 34.
It's crazy, man. Wonder Boy's old.
He's
Tai
getting up there.
Tuivasa versus Greg Hardy. That's another one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
I got Tai Tuivasa all day.
Yeah, I like Tai
I
Tuivasa.
like Tai Tuivasa too.
A 5.5-inch reach advantage for Greg Hardy.
I just don't like
Greg Hardy's like a
Greg
point
Hardy-
boxer.
I think Greg Hardy's hit his ceiling. Like he's gonna be hovering right around that 15 mark for heavyweights, and I think that's a good spot for him. I don't ever see him being a real
He's
contender though.
not top 10.
And plus, he's already 32.
How do you pronounce
he
these
got
girls' names?
well. I'll get to that right in 1 second. But he got exposed in his last fight. Was it Tabura he last fought? Guy took him down like every single round. Yeah, Tabura. Or he knocked him out at the end of round 2 because he just took him down so many times. So Greg Hardy, I think, is a really entertaining fighter, and it's a good name to have. But I think that Tai Tuivasa is going to knock him out.
He might expose him.
And then you got Irene Aldana versus Yana Kunitskaya. This is a bantamweight fight. Even reach, actually. Kunitskaya, I can't remember. Who was her last
Both
fight?
pretty tall
She beat
fighters.
Caitlin Vieira, and she beat Julia Storenko. I thought that there was... I don't know Storenko. I thought there was... Marlon Renault. She beat Marlon Renault 2 years ago. That was the fight that I first heard of her. She is actually a kickboxer, like a pretty damn good kickboxer. And I know the name Irene Aldana, but I can't remember how I know her from. This is like a top 5 bantamweight fight. I'm pretty sure both these ladies in the top 5.
So in the prelims, are there any ranked fighters fighting? Because I just think it's stupid that O'Malley's on the main card.
Carlos
Kevin
Condit's
He's gonna
fighting?
sell.
Sean Brady versus Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee just got injured and he had to bow out of the fight. So we'll see if there's a replacement. Just saying. Yeah, Carlos Condit's fighting Max Griffin. Carlos Condit's only 37. That's crazy that he's only 37.
Yeah, that is.
Nico Price and Michael Pereira. I'm pretty sure Michael Pereira is ranked in the welterweight division. Am I wrong?
Oh, Michel Pieta or something?
What?
Michelle.
Michel Pieta.
Is it actually Michel?
Yeah, well,
Like the fucking guy from Dodgeball?
Yeah, that's what I was
Michelle?
thinking. Michelle.
Michel.
Yeah, no, it is. It's Michel. That's
Oh.
hilarious. I didn't know that shit.
Just take a little bite. Just a little bite. He's got the shit hooked up to his
Nico Price versus Michel Pereira. That is going to be a very good fight.
I believe I have Michelle.
And Omari Akhmedov versus Brad Tavares in the
Yeah.
early
Brad
prelims.
Tavares. I don't know who
I
I'm
dare you. I dare you.
It's another of.
Zagas. Nope.
that's-
Zoom go off.
We've seen this guy.
Zoom go off.
Yeah, no, I think we've looked at this a couple times and I always ask us to try
There's
to
no
pronounce
way.
it.
Oh, Jennifer Mai versus Jessica I.
That's a good fight.
That's a great
That's
fight.
prelim?
That's early prelims.
Early prelim.
That's like 6:30
I think
These unranked fighters on the main card.
because they don't get draws.
China stopped sending
What do you think
fighters
Sean
over.
O'Malley should be on prelims?
No.
You think
Yeah,
Sean
prelims.
O'Malley, who co-main evented a pay-per-view
Or
and
just make
got
the
like
main card
300,000
6
buys?
fights.
I think Tai Tuivasa, Greg Hardy should be swapped out with Jessica I. And
Yeah, but Greg Hardy's such a draw. He's such a draw. You got to think that's NFL viewers that are tuning into MMA.
Yeah, how many? Come on.
yeah, let's be honest.
Bro, how many
Let's
are
be honest.
tuning in for no disrespect, but how many are tuning in to Jennifer Maia versus Jessica
Well,
I?
I don't know how many NFL viewers also like Chris Brown. That could play a factor.
Oh, because Chris Brown beat up Rihanna, is that what you're saying? Yeah, okay. It would be
know-
interesting. I wonder if Dana White's ever talked to Chris Brown about coming to the UFC.
he
He could fight in the women's bantamweight division. Amanda Nunes versus Chris Brown. I'd pay to watch
I
that
think
shit.
Nunez could beat him.
Rihanna coaching Amanda Nunes and
Bro,
shit.
she don't have to do
Nah, we
nothing.
don't have to. Nah, we're good.
Should be his
Walkout
walkout
Nunes
music.
coaching Rihanna.
Rihanna would get smoked.
No, I don't think anyone would want to watch Chris Brown versus Rihanna. I think people would watch Chris Brown versus Amanda Nunes. I think people would watch Chris Brown get
I
the
wouldn't-
shit
They
kicked out
I
of
would
him by a
watch
woman.
the fuck out of
I'd
that.
watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, I would. Fuck yeah, I would.
Man, Nunes,
Dana, make it happen.
Hey, you know which fight to make, Dana.
Yeah,
Henry
whenever
Cejudo,
Cejudo gets back, yeah.
Henry
Oh.
Cejudo, Amanda Nunes. Let's go.
Cejudo's so cringy.
This has to be.
Dude, he's so bad.
We've talked more about a metaphorical Cejudo versus Nunes fight than a metaphorical George St. Pierre versus Nurmagomedov. That's how much we fucking talked about this.
I think we also just don't respect the amount that UFC fighters beat their wives. I think it's just, I think it's under the rug. Man. I think
You
Dana
think so?
doesn't want to make that fight at all because I think a lot of things are going to come up.
Dude, how many has there been like fucking
There's been a
reports of that
few.
shit?
Yeah, there's been a few.
buddy.
Been a few.
I know Chuck Liddell did it. Floyd obviously is a notorious woman beater.
Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah.
Well, he can't
There's a
read,
couple.
and he gets frustrated when he's.
Oh my god, have you ever seen the video of him trying to read Cat in the Hat? Oh my god.
No,
You guys
it's a Harry Potter book.
no, there's
50
one in
Cent.
Cat in the Hat.
I'll
It's
give
like
you $1 million if you give a whole fucking
Yeah.
page of
Oh,
them.
that was
Yeah,
Connor,
cards of
right?
$1 million.
That was Connor, I think.
No,
That's
that was
Yeah.
50. That was 50
No, it was
cents.
50 cents.
Oh yeah, it was 50
Remember?
cents.
Great call out, bro.
Right.
Fuck the bucket of ice.
Bucket of ice.
What else we got for 264? Carlos Condit, Max Griffin. That's a fucking interesting fight. How do I know Max Griffin? Is that the guy that his fucking ear fell off? Is it that guy?
Oh, I hope not. No, I don't know whose ear fell
Max
off.
Griffin, I do recall the name.
Yeah.
Where's he fighting?
He's fighting 264 against Carlos Condit.
I think Carlos has got that.
I just like Carlos.
I think Max Griffin has it.
Max Griffin elbowed off that guy's ear.
What the hell is Carlos Condit's last fight? That's what I want to know. You fought Matt Brown on January 16th,
Matt Brown is
and
one.
he beat Matt Brown.
Not Brown.
And then he beat.
I
That was a
think it
crazy
on
knockout.
Joe Rogan,
Court
was
McGee.
it?
Carlos Condit's on a 2-fight win streak.
Michael
Just
Chiesa
saying.
and Alex Oliveira.
Carlos Condit, imagine if he makes another insurgence in the welterweight division.
I
I'm
wish
gonna
he
go
would.
Max Griffin.
Dude, Carlos Condit has one of the craziest fights in UFC history against Robbie Lawler.
I
Yeah.
think if Stephen Thompson beats Burns, then he could get a shot in there.
What's he ranked right now?
And-
Welterweights were
and-
saying Stephen Thompson's 4, Gilbert Burns 2. Oh, how about Stephen Thompson versus Leon Edwards? That would be a good fight.
I'd like to see that, but Thompson's getting old, so I'd like to see him go for Usman sooner than later if he gets a chance.
You still got Luque in there. You still got.
Luque's
yeah.
up there. Jorge's still in the mix. Bilal Muhammad's getting up there. Michael Chiesa needs a fight.
No, Covington needs to fight.
Covington's fighting Usman. That has to
I don't
happen
even
next.
care.
Yes.
That shit
But
needs to
now,
happen.
who do you put? I guess Luque Edwards. I mean, that's not bad.
Well, Edwards.
But that's Edwards
technically-
fighting down. And is he going to take that?
I think he should fight down,
Well,
man. Who's
well,
Nate
both
Diaz?
guys above him are already fighting. So, or not technically Covington yet, but we're assuming that Covington's going to be fighting Usman soon.
Dude,
So
if-
both guys ahead of him are fighting. He has to fight someone, and as long as it's top 7, top 8, I think that's fine for a number 3 fighter.
Dude, if Covington becomes champ,
I'd
and the
like-
way
Oh
he
my God.
talks, and
If
the way
if Covington
talks-
beats Usman, get ready for a parade of shit talking we have not seen since
Dude,
Conor
Yeah,
Nurmagomedov.
Trump 2024.
Right.
dude,
He
He will go
going to
visit
go
Trump at
off.
his house.
Dude, he will go off.
I would love to have seen Usman
He
Kobe
might sell.
Ultimate Fighter. That's
he
what I
might
wanted
sell
to
a
see.
That's
lot
what
of
they
pay
want-
per views.
or they
a
want-
lot.
Yeah, he really would have. That's what they wanted to do. Covington Masvidal, Ultimate Fighter.
That would have been good.
That would have been.
That would've
That
been
would
shit.
have
so
been
good.
sick. That would have been so good. They used to be roommates.
Oh my god! Imagine if they did that and then
Kobe-
Covington.
Kobe used to fuck up
He-
Jorge.
have you seen the video
Yeah.
in the bedroom?
Yeah,
He fucking followed him for 40 minutes.
yeah. Jorge could not get up.
Covington had a picture with Jorge's ex-wife too.
That was so
That would have
strange.
been so crazy if the Ultimate Fighter had happened. I wonder if that was like the final straw that made it not happen.
That's so funny.
But we got to see Jorge Leon Edwards. That has to happen.
That's not
3-piece in a soda.
I think
Yeah,
I'd
well,
rather
I
watch
think
that
now
has
is
to
the right
happen.
time for
That's
that.
fucking.
I know.
It's-
I
Jorge's just
know.
coming
Because
off
who's Jorge
Been
gonna
saying
fight?
this, bro. Been
Is
saying
Jorge gonna fight like Bilal Muhammad?
Jorge's
See,
fighting
Bilal
Leon
still got
Muhammad
this thing called
Hasn't
the
put on
bad
an impressive
motherfucker
performance
belt.
recently, though.
What's up?
He still has this thing called the bad motherfucker belt. I know you don't want to take it seriously, but it's like
It's not that I don't want to
can
take it
still
seriously.
sell.
It's not that I want to take it seriously. It's that it's not something to be taken seriously. All
If-
right.
if
It's
you
not that I
get-
don't wanna. It's that you can't.
The Rock,
The Rock put it on him. All right. It stops there.
Dwayne,
It
The
was a
Rock
quick fight,
Johnson.
though.
Became the baddest motherfucker by a doctor stoppage. You can't. You just can't. You fucking can't.
All right, if Nick Diaz wanted to come out for that belt, and you
Nick
win-
Diaz or Nate Diaz?
Nick Diaz. That would
Nick
be cool.
Diaz.
Nick Diaz.
yes.
And he fights Jorge for the bad motherfucker belt.
How old is Nick Diaz?
40.
He's older than Nate.
40.
Yeah, he's 40.
40s.
Yeah. He just
Well-
tweeted a photo the other day.
And he's definitely not functional. I don't think. I think I've seen a little bit of him, but
I would like.
pay for that. I would definitely And you could main event that.
He's 37.
You can't
He's
main
37.
event
Yes,
that.
you can.
Jorge, maybe a fight night. You can't main event a pay-per-view with Jorge versus Nick Diaz.
Yeah, you can.
You can't. Yeah, you fucking can, man.
That's a
crazy.
co-main. That's a co-main.
Was
so
it not a
Nate,
main
so
event
he
before?
he can main event with Nate, but he can't main event with Nick.
You didn't main event with Nate. That was so not the
Look,
main
that-
event.
What do you
of that
mean? It was
pay-per-view.
the main event. It was for a belt.
Because I thought it was
It's not for an actual belt. That's the point I'm making. It's
There was
not
a
for an
lot of
actual
shit.
belt.
That's your
If you
opinion.
want to talk about shit
That's the
talking,
main event.
There's a lot of shit talking around that. I know The Rock put it on him, but like,
Everybody shit on The Rock.
It was the main event.
All right. So how many pay-per-view buys did it get? Now I'm curious.
Cool.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
6.5 mil. Doesn't say the pay-per-view buys.
Oh, we need to find.
I
that
don't
number.
think you can make a pay-per-view out of that. You could have made it a year ago. I don't think you can anymore. Jorge's lost
Yeah,
twice in a row.
After getting knocked out
Nick
that bad.
Diaz hasn't fought in
Yeah.
literally 5 years. Nate Diaz at least had fought 2 years ago when he fought Leon Edwards. Like Nick Diaz hasn't fought in 5.
Yeah, and people were saying that he shouldn't even be getting. That people were confused on why he's fighting a guy that high.
How about Jorge versus Nick for the bad motherfucker belt? Co-main events, Covington versus Usman.
I'd like to see that.
I'd watch that.
I'd watch
I would
Covington
just give
Usman,
it to
anything.
Edwards, Jorge versus Edwards. If you're gonna put them,
I want to see Jorge versus Edwards.
like you could make, I think you could make more money just in general.
I
If you
honestly,
played that, if you peddled that,
the
peddled.
the UFC purist in me, and I always talk about how I think like one should fight the champion, and then you should see a series of fights between the 2 through 5 fighters, and then you see a series of fights 5 through 10. I don't think like this bullshit that we've been seeing, and I understand it makes sense from a contract point of view. You're looking to
Business
fight
stand-
someone
business
from a business standpoint. These 3 versus 14s, these 5 versus unranked. Like I don't think that should happen. So I think the purist in me would like to see Leon Edwards versus Vicente Luque because that just makes sense. Luque's 5, Edwards is 3. But Masvidal's still a draw, and you know that potential's there that he could get back in the top 5. And that's the other thing.
I think
With these other guys, Bilal Muhammad's and the fucking Damian Maias of the world, like they're not getting top 5. So why give him someone higher than him?
Bilal Muhammad doesn't deserve it yet. I don't think. He didn't go out there and fucking.
What did we talk
Dominantly
about?
win.
We talked about who did we talk about during the fight? And by the way, if you haven't checked out our UFC 263 live stream, go check it out. It was a good time. It's on YouTube, MMA Complete Podcast on YouTube. But who were you talking about during the fight? Because we were talking about it was Covington versus Muhammad because Muhammad's fucking takedown defense was really good against Damian Maia.
Yeah,
So
it was good
Covington
against Damian.
versus Bilal Muhammad. That's actually a matchup that I'm interested
I
in.
think Covington's hands are so good though.
Covington's so
Compared
They
to
are.
Damian Maia's hands.
They are.
Damian Maia's.
Covington doesn't have power. We saw him hit Usman with a couple shots, but he never rocked Usman.
He did once, I think.
He
that
might have
fight,
once.
yeah.
He might have once. But he certainly didn't drop.
I think he'd
Usman.
fuck up.
dropped
I
him.
think he'd fuck up Bilal Muhammad. Honestly.
Covington has great movement. He had like his footwork because of how great of a wrestler he is. His footwork's crazy. Usman didn't really touch him until he broke his fucking jaw. He landed some shots, but he didn't really tag him.
that was the fucking finisher.
Oh my god, that was one of the best. Usman's
That punch knocked
boxing
out.
is so.
his knockout against Jorge is like
Yeah, that punch knocked
Yeah,
out
it was.
Masvidal.
Although
Did
he
not,
allowed
did
to
knock
grab
out
the
Kobe.
hand.
the right straight is just so good.
Trevor Whitman. That's all I gotta say.
But he was knocking people out before Whitman. Whitman is just adding to it.
Women is making him a better
Usman
striker for
is
sure.
Oh,
This
that's his
first
boxing
time-
what is
coach,
Usman?
striking
34?
He's 34.
coach. Who else is,
Yeah,
Whitman?
34.
That's big. That's big.
Huh?
That can
Who else
affect
is,
his goat
Whitman?
run, honestly.
Whitman.
But dude,
Who else is he?
he's
coach?
34. He could still have 3 more years.
Uh,
3 more years of fighting
Like,
3
yeah.
times a year.
My phone was up. I would
If
pull
he
it up.
if
I'm
he
pretty
fights,
sure
he's
Kevin
been
Holland.
hesitating to take that Kobe fight.
Kevin
He's still
Holland.
arguing with Nick Diaz on faking Twitter.
He is and he
He's-
isn't because the Jorge fight's the most money.
That is,
It is the most money.
but it's been a while since. When was his last fight before Jorge? Can you check
Does
that?
he do
Gilbert
Max Holloway?
Burns, that was February.
Might do Max Holloway.
He's actually not doing that bad.
Usman really is like of any fighter right now. Amanda Nunes is up there, but no one has bridged the gap between himself where he started and the number one all time like Usman has in the last 2 years. No one's even come close. Adesanya is probably the next closest, and then you got Ngannou up there too.
Who we haven't even seen really go on his stampede yet. Like he's
Who? Usman.
Ngannou.
We really haven't.
Yeah,
We are in the beginning of the Ngannou era, and what's crazy is he's 34 too.
He is.
Or he's 32,
He started
34.
at 27, right?
He's a champion that could fight every 3 months, though. Like, he just
34,
knocked guys
yeah.
out.
Wow.
So
He's 34, turning 35 in 2 months. So he's older than Usman.
wow.
Heavyweight, they last to like about 40.
But
At
here's the
least.
thing about Ngannou. We talked about this last week. He's never been knocked down.
Yeah.
He doesn't have brain damage yet. He started when he was 27.
He
Yeah,
got
you brought up the salt mines and how there's wear and tear on his body. It makes sense. No, it
on
really
his
does.
knees and elbows.
But he's 35. He could go to 40. Easy.
He got jawed by Stipe, but that's the worst I've seen him injured. Like was when Stipe closed in that last time because he thought he had him.
Yeah.
That's the only time
Yeah,
I've seen
he
him
kinda
really
hit
rocked.
him.
Yeah,
But like,
that's it. That's fucking it.
I'll give it. Stipe had a really good ground and pound their first time, but that was just because Ngannou didn't know wrestling yet.
Yeah. Well, no, his CTE wise, I think Ngannou's gold.
He didn't knock him down their first fight at all.
No, he just took him down like 8 times. Yeah, I was at that fight.
Probably took some hard shots on the ground.
Yeah, he did. That's what I'm saying. Stipe had some good ground and
I
pound.
was in Boston.
Yeah.
I
Oh, you
can't
watched
wait
that
till
one
it
in
goes to
person?
Boston again.
Watch that one in person?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was Miocic and Ngannou was the main event. Ozdemir versus Cormier was the co-main event.
Damn.
Cormier knocked the fuck out of Ozdemir. I think that was his first defense of the light heavyweight belt. Might have been a second.
You texted me. You're like, bro, I just see the worst knockout of my life.
I want to go to another one. Whenever it comes back to TD Garden, I definitely want to go. Even if it's a fight night, I don't give a shit.
I wanna go so bad. Media passes.
Yeah.
How much do you think it is to sit in on Dana White's Contender Series? They only got a lot of seats.
Oh, bro, if Contender Series goes to TD Garden, like worst, like the cheapest ticket's probably like $50. Like you could get cheap tickets to that, I'm sure.
I pay $100. I don't care. Yeah.
You never know these days with COVID and everything. Me and Austin got tickets to a good seats to a football game for $90. Like
Where?
right now, Indy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We got front row of the top deck for $90 each. Like
Really?
that's just
That ain't bad.
ridiculous.
Top deck, you know what I mean?
That ain't bad.
So it depends. You gotta, as soon as these tickets come out, if it's an event that you know is going to sell out, you just got to get them right away because that's the cheapest. They're only going to go up, which is why a UFC event, the first time it comes back to Boston, because you know what, all the other knuckleheads from Boston that like UFC like us are going to want to go. So you got to get it right away.
I wonder if Joe Rogan would commentate that because it's in Boston. Probably not. But
No, I bet.
Depends. If Spotify's trying to get him to, he will.
I think a pay per view
They
is
own
what
Joe
Boston-
Rogan now.
Huh?
Depending on who's
I'd let someone
fighting.
own me for $100 million. That would be my selling point. Fuck yeah. Spotify. Let's do it. Hook it up. MMA Complete.
Yeah.
100 mil.
Dude,
A mil. Like,
10,000.
yeah. I think we can wait on 10,000.
Own ourselves for
I think we can wait on
$10,000.
10,000. 10,000 for like a year?
Austin's a
Yeah.
cheap
I'll do
whore.
10,000 for a year.
Yeah, and the sponsorship with it.
Yeah, get the notoriety.
All right. So you guys really don't want to talk about our list right now? This
No.
is all I've been thinking
I'm
about for
saving.
15
I
minutes.
am fucking saving.
All right.
Let's
So
see why McGregor's going to win.
all right.
I
I would love to hear it. I would love
Yeah,
for
we
you guys to
we
try to
kind of
change my
skimmed
mind.
over it. We just choose. who
I
was
gave
going.
you my 3 reasons, and I think they're very, very fucking solid points. Oh, well, 4 reasons.
I think that one of your points is not solid, but other than that,
Tell me what the point is.
I don't see how Connor defends leg kicks at all.
It's a simple. Let's say he drills it. It's a simple move for him. Really,
No.
just checking it.
But here's the thing: Connor's rise to glory. He was out of UFC. He had one fight, the Khabib fight, in 3 years. In that 3 years is when calf kicks became prominent.
No, he fought Cerrone.
He's been Cerrone. I mean, yeah, but the calf kicks came into power 2016.
They've
2016
they've
to
always-
2019, Connor had one fight, and that was Khabib.
Okay, but
Khabib
I got to give you my butt.
Mhm.
What's the difference between a thigh and a calf kick? You just got to see the leg coming. and
There's
you gotta
way
turn,
less muscle on the calf.
You got to turn a little more, so it hits that bone.
It's a
That's the
valid-
most important point.
Mhm.
valid point.
Because when you check a thigh kick, you're still doing that so that it
Yeah,
hits
yeah.
your bone. So when the calf kick comes, you just got to be able to receive it.
And here's the only thing, though, and I
Say it.
agree with you that Connor can keep checking, but he doesn't switch his stance.
Oh, you said it. You
He
said it.
never
point.
switches
He
his
said it.
stance.
He's a
He
He's
hits
a
it
southpaw true
Yeah.
and true.
Yeah.
And
The way his
The way
fighting
he
style
sits
is,
on not his
he
shit.
sits on his.
and you
front
know what
leg.
was
It's
most
weird,
dangerous
but
about Poirier's leg kicks? If you go back to that first fight, it's not like Poirier was only front kick leg kicking him. He was using both legs, and he would do it in a combo, and he would finish it in a combo. You know, and here's the thing: if Connor's drilling leg kicks the whole time, that's when That's when Poirier just fucking rocks him with an uppercut because Connor's busy worrying about his legs. And I get it; it's not that simple. It's so not that simple, and I understand that.
I think we're going to see not outside like we're going to see inside leg kicks. I think from him.
I think I'm interested to see how it plays out. I don't think one move can make a fight, but it can play a factor into distracting Connor on focusing.
If Poirier
Where
was a better
Poirier
kickboxer,
doesn't.
and he could question mark kick, I think that Connor would get knocked the fuck out by a question mark kick. Because right away, if he's looking to block that kick and you fake it to the leg and go up to the head,
You seen that Luke Rockhold one?
Luke Rockhold, no, I
He's
don't know.
been drilling him pretty hard.
I've seen Anderson Silva question mark kick. That shit is ridiculous. And John Jones, of course. Adesanya. Yep.
Adesanya had one on Brunson. That was
Yeah.
like- but he
Adesanya,
also used his right hand.
he had a
While he
right
did it.
question mark into a right jab, and it was the nastiest two-punch I've ever seen.
How do you do that?
How do you, when your leg's coming down from being in front of you, how do you
Like,
then
actually
combine?
touching the dude on the face with your right leg, and you're like, I'm gonna punch him with my right hand too.
Yeah.
Well, he does have those long ass arms.
It's ridiculous. That is one of the filthiest combos, and it was only 2 strikes that I've ever seen.
It's just a gift. You can't really teach that.
It's just training. Dude's been kickboxing since he was like 12 years old or some stupid
That's
shit.
70s.
When you can
5
use
fights.
all your appendages like the same as each other, it's like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
That
He's
list
good
is
all
gonna be
around
fun.
MMA. Dude, what's so impressive in that last fight he had was his takedown defense.
Yeah, he did show great takedown
His
defense.
takedown defense was kind of insane.
Connor?
Yeah. No,
Or,
uh,
Adesanya.
yeah.
Yeah, he did really
Yeah.
good against Vittori. Adesanya did really good against Vittori.
Mm.
He was dominant on
Vittori says that he thinks he won both fights.
the.
by the
Vittori
way,
is
Vittori's
high
also
off his
an
balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just trying to sell some shit.
But I love the enthusiasm, Vittori.
Paulo Costa got a hair transplant.
So
I love
Have you guys heard about this?
I think I love
Close-
Have you guys heard about this?
closing note.
Paulo
Costa's
Costa
hair.
was supposed to fight Jared Cannonier in August.
Yeah.
He dropped out of the fight because he said he got injured. In reality, he got a hair transplant, which takes 6 to 12 months to recover from.
He classified himself as a metrosexual on a
You should classify himself as a pussy.
well, metrosexual means that he cares a lot about his physical appearance.
MMA Complete Podcast reflects no way the opinions of me as Paulo Costa is concerned. We'd love to have you on. We think you're a great fighter.
You could come down and
This
beat up
Fucking
Zach.
guy. This guy's gonna get knocked out by Paulo Costa.
I would, Paulo Costa, if you want to knock me out, I just want to record it. Let's do it. I would let that man punch me as hard as he could for the podcast.
On contract?
Is he metrosexual or you?
Mm.
No, Paulo Costa.
I don't know what metrosexual is,
I
so
don't even
no,
know
I'm
what
not
that
It was
metrosexual.
a Brazilian news anchor that asked him it. Are you a metrosexual? Because you seem to care a lot about your looks. And he said, yeah.
All right, so we can go on from that.
And he
But yeah,
said, yeah.
and that's the fight that. Actually, no, we're not going to get into that either. Nope, we're not gonna get into that.
Why?
All right, so
Cannonier,
Broken arm.
Gaston. Did you see that?
nah, bro,
Gastelum
Gastelum
at
fucking
145.
Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Gastelum's dropping 25 pounds.
45.
He's dropping
He must have
25.
just, like,
25?
how did he see that?
Or no,
Just, like,
well,
popped up.
yeah, technically 45. Jesus,
Or he
40.
tagged him in it, actually.
He did tag him. I don't know why he retweeted it, but I fucking respect it. And I
Thank you, Kevin
yeah,
Gastelum.
good shit. All right,
You're the
so
Terrence
UFC
McKinney.
264, 2 weeks away. This weekend we have Gone,
Cyril.
not
Cereal gain. Cereal gain.
And that should be a good
Cereal
fight night. This
crunch
whole
game.
fight night should be good, and the fight night starts at 4, so it'll be over by 8, which is awesome.
Let's just go down the line. Who you got?
For what?
Cereal gain. Volkov.
Volkov.
I got Gain.
I got gain.
He looks like he wants.
Volkov.
Okay.
Volkov.
Tanner Bozer or
Ovin St. Preux.
Yeah, I got Open St. Preux.
I got Tanner Bozer.
Fuck Tanner
You got
Bozer over
Tanner
St.
Bozer?
Tanner
Preux.
Bozer.
I got Open St. Preux.
I think Tanner Bozer's gonna knock out St. Preux.
I
Tanner
think
Bozer's
he's
pissed. It is also,
And then he's gonna rip a promo that says "fuck the UFC," and then he's gonna get so much credit off it. The UFC gives him a contract.
yeah,
That's what I think is gonna
exactly.
happen.
St. Pro's last fight. St. Pro's last fight.
He just won
Is
actually.
he 40?
St.
He's
Preux.
Old.
Yeah.
he's
Someone-
also a heavyweight.
St. Preux is 38. Tanner Bozer's 29. Ovin St. Preux's last fight was
4.5
against.
inch reach.
He lost to Jamal Hill, and before that, he beat Alonzo Mainfield.
The loss
He
to
got-
Jamal Hill is dude, Tanner Bozer, does he take down people?
No.
Ben Rothwell's evil laugh.
No.
You don't remember that?
Who?
Ben Rothwell? Yeah, like the evil villain laugh. Oh, I gotta pull that video up for you guys.
Yeah, sure.
Ben Rothwell? 'Cause he
So everybody knows.
knocked out Shaw.
Oh, what's coming up?
So everybody knows. July might be a very entertaining month of UFC.
Yo, that fight night.
UFC
Sick.
264, obviously Poirier McGregor. The week after that was supposed to be Holloway versus Rodriguez. That got canceled. So the main event is now Makhachev versus Thiago Moises. And you have
Gotcha.
Marlon Renault versus Misha Tate in the co-main.
What is
The week after that, you have Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw.
Yes.
That's huge.
And Brandon Allen is in the co-main event. And then Shamil Abdur Akhmov, I think, is ranked in the heavyweight division, right? I think he's like 10th in the heavyweight division. 7th in the heavyweight division. And then after that, you have Uriah Hall versus Sean Strickland. That's a good month of fights. That is a really good month of
Hey,
fights.
Uriah Hall. I've been watching Sean Strickland's past 2 fights. Two fights.
Jeremy Stevens is also fighting on July 17th.
Nice.
July's going to be a good month of fights. All right.
I wonder what Makhachev is.
Makhachev is 8th, I think, in the lightweight division. 9th.
He's good.
He is good. Tony's 6, huh? Wow.
Tony's
Still up there.
Tony's getting out of the UFC soon.
Yeah. He needs to fight Dan Hooker.
That's his only shot,
Tony
honestly,
fight
out
for
of that
winning,
whole
and
list.
I think Tony can beat Dan Hooker.
Could.
If Conor McGregor defeats Dustin Poirier, because Dustin Poirier is the number 1 ranked lightweight right now, does Conor McGregor get the first shot against Charles Woodley?
Dana will totally try to push it.
Just
know he will.
Gaethje. Just
I know he will.
Gaethje.
I think Justin Gaethje needs to fight somebody else before he fights for the belt. He lost. He's coming off a loss. Like,
You can't
It's
let
the-
these
it's
guys
the rule.
snag the interim belt. Let them get it taken away over, just circumstance, and then not let them try to get it back.
Can I tell you who that happened to?
Ferguson,
Colby.
Colby,
Ferguson has
Gaethje.
never held the interim belt.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
yeah, he did.
No, I'm sorry. He
Gaethje-
was going to fight for it. I'm sorry.
No, he did fight for it, but he lost to Gaethje.
Yeah.
That was for the interim belt.
Oh yeah.
And then Gaethje did get a shot for the title.
I could have sworn Ferguson won the interim belt from somebody.
I don't think so because Khabib was supposed to fight Ferguson at UFC 248 or two. Yeah, it was 248. Yeah, but that's when Corona hit and Khabib couldn't leave Russia, and that's why
He faced
Gaethje
Kevin
stepped
Lee
in.
in 2017 for the interim UFC championship.
Ferguson.
He won by triangle.
Hmm.
But that's an older.
I didn't know that.
Tony's on the outs, man. It's sad to say. I think Tony versus Islam Makhachev. I think Tony loses.
Oh, badly. I think it's a bad loss.
Oh, I think Islam Makhachev would beat a lot of people that people wouldn't expect him to.
I think he would beat Dan Hooker, Tony Ferguson, Conor McGregor, Beneil Dariush.
Not Michael Chandler, huh?
Not
Dariush.
Beneil. Actually, no.
You also didn't say RDA.
I don't think he'd beat RDA.
That would be a good fight.
Rafael?
I think he would beat Rafael.
I think he could beat Justin Gaethje too.
Dude, Justin Gaethje versus Conor is a fight that I want to see,
Mhm.
and Justin Gaethje fucks him up.
Eh.
Fucks him up.
I don't know about
Those
that.
calf
Yeah,
kick,
no.
dude. Justin Gaethje.
Here's the thing:
kicks are
Justin
crazy.
Gaethje is an incredible striker, but as far as incredible strikers goes, he does not have a great chin.
So I got a question for you guys.
Gaethje doesn't have a great chin.
What was it? And name any move that isn't super conventional, like a jab or a cross or something.
Unorthodox.
When the Superman punch was introduced to the UFC, fighters adapted to being able to handle a Superman punch, and they worked it into the routine.
Yeah.
One kick it changes the game, but it doesn't break the fighter. And I think you can't put too much weight in one move.
I think
you think Connor
that
taps
you are
early?
right and wrong.
Taps?
I think you can.
Do you think that he kind of like gives up early?
I think Connor has all the things in the world that he could ever want.
Yeah.
And I think he's only fighting because
What's
his ego.
motivating him?
That's it.
And more money.
I mean, shit. We saw
Yeah.
what the fuck calf kicks did to Connor in the first fight. Say what you want about it. Say what you want about Connor can do this and that to recover from it. But Poirier landed like 8 leg strikes, and Connor was very badly limping hours after the fight. Very bad.
3 leg kicks in, he was done.
Well, I'm just saying for like future fights.
Mhm.
Like I think that fighters, ever since seeing that, they really went, if I don't already have this in store, I should get it in
completely
store.
agree. But when you got another perfect example is Adesanya Vettori. Adesanya beat the shit out of Vittori's
That
legs.
probably helped him
And it
not get the
didn't do
takedown.
too much. Vittori's a tough bastard. It didn't help him too much, but when the leg kick started landing, that was the end of takedowns for Vittori.
Yeah, it
He just
stopped the
didn't
strength.
have it.
Yeah.
He had 34 leg.
But leg kicks
Yeah.
are something that these fighters should already have been focusing on. That's what I think that I'm trying to say is
There's a
that
great interview
they'll
about
adapt
it.
to it.
And I know Austin was thinking of it when I was talking about Poirier McGregor earlier, but when Dustin Poirier went on Joe Rogan and they talk about the difference between a leg kick, a thigh kick, and a calf kick, it's super different because can you back up just a little bit off?
Muscle right there.
The muscle is right here, but when you go to your calf, like right under the
That's-
muscle is
when you-
where
when
you
you-
want to kick because there's no muscle guarding.
Here.
You're hitting right to the bone. No, right
that's
here.
where the tendon is.
Right
that
here.
attaches the muscle.
It's like
to
your
the leg.
Achilles,
Yes.
right?
So when you hit that tendon, you're trying to break that tendon.
But you're hitting it right against the bone.
You're just like hitting it and you're stunning it like a knockout.
Joe Rogan
Even if
that-
you hit right here too, there's
Throw 'em
muscle
out.
there. It's a thin
Joe
line.
Rogan equates it to
Well, that was
if you
more like
just
in the
take
knee.
your arm like this
Those
and
are-
just karate chop right at your arm. Do that for 2 minutes. It hurts because you're hitting you're hitting the bone.
Mhm.
So that's a difference. If you hit the thigh, that's gonna hurt. But you got so much muscle in your thigh that it's gonna take a little bit, especially if you're one of these tough SOBs in UFC. But if you get kicked right underneath your fucking muscle right here, and you just keep getting it to the bone,
if you don't know
You
how
can't
to
take that.
throw a leg kick, then you end up like Chris Weidman. Oof.
that also. Here's the
You
thing.
try
It
to-
happened
Here's the
three
thing.
times, three
Yes.
times ever in the
You don't know how
UFC.
to
Three
do it?
times ever.
Here's
It
the
won't
thing.
happen.
I mean,
Yes,
He was
but when
long
you're
lived
going
too.
up against a guy like Uriah Hall, who not only is very, very good with his legs and coordinating his legs, but also has like his calves are the size of my thighs. Like his legs are so big.
Connor does have kind of peg legs for one.
He
thing.
does. He absolutely does.
And
Because he's a
your-
boxer.
And your arms are the size of John Jones' leg.
Now, if you look at
Yeah,
Connor,
John Jones has a
He's-
little calf
Connor's
too.
He
body
does.
is so slender, but his like appendages are like thick.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Connor's just one of the most precise strikers ever. If he tags Poirier's going down. But he has to
He
tag.
tagged him in the last fight, and he had him like wobbled, not rocked, but wobbled.
But you had a good point. You said this before that he might just be saying that to sell the fight.
Well, yes and no. I think that is part of it, but I think if you do go back watch the fight, there was a moment where Connor landed. I
Oh,
think
I
it was
totally
like
agree.
a
I
think
2-strike
Connor
combo.
had most of it, except for the leg kicks. Coming
There's
into the
no
second,
question that
Connor was pressing,
Mhm.
and then those leg kicks allowed Poirier to circle him, catch him against the cage, and start to unload, which is what Poirier's known for. Is like
So what
unloading
if
quick
what if
combinations.
Poirier fucking fakes a front leg kick and goes for a takedown, and Connor's up there with his leg like this already?
That's probably a good move.
Like there's so much in Connor. The biggest adjustment he's gonna have to make is that he's going to not have to assume isn't the right word. Be waiting on something from Poirier, because you could say this and that. Poirier's going to go for takedowns. He's going to go for leg kicks. He's going to go for jabs because the jab is his biggest strike for punches.
Mm-hmm.
Connor's not going to. He can't focus on one thing because Poirier is too well-rounded of a fighter that if Connor focuses on one thing, he's going to get beaten by everything else.
I think the fighters are made. I think they're made as what they are.
I think Dustin Poirier's renting space for free in Conor McGregor's head. That's what I think.
I think he's a better all-around fighter, Poirier for sure. But
Yeah, he's definitely better on the ground.
if it stays on the feet and the leg check can be situated, then I got a Conor.
Then you got Conor. Absolutely. Even though I do think that Poirier can beat Conor standing up, I just don't think I think it happens 3 times out of 10.
He's got good boxing though.
Do we
Yeah,
see
he does.
Connor switch stances?
I don't think we do. I don't think Conor's ever switched stances in the UFC.
I don't think he will this late in the game.
No.
Like that's big. That's a big change.
It is.
It'd be something that he wouldn't.
I think
see
he's still
coming.
pretty coordinated
I think.
with his legs. Left hand, right. He
Yeah.
can switch and throw.
Yeah, he just needs to bring that karate style back out, dude.
I think the
Definitely
minute
not with his hands.
Don't look
He
like a
likes
boxer,
to
please.
sit
Just
on
don't
that
look like you have
left,
a
right.
pole up your ass. Like,
Yeah.
don't go out there all fucking rock 'em, sock 'em. You know what I mean?
Conor needs to be early in his career, he was
Loosey-goose.
bouncy on his feet, and then when he went against Poirier, he was flat-footed as fuck, and that opens up the leg kicks.
That was
So
it.
Conor has to be able to get on the balls of his feet.
I think we'll see. I think we'll see a change from Conor, and I can't tell you who.
If Conor switches stances, I think that's when he's most vulnerable to leg kicks. Because the second he puts that right leg out, Poirier's going for the leg. Because if he fucks up, getting your front leg is bad because you can't really reach out, but getting your back leg fucked up
Well, that's
might
your power
even
leg.
be worse.
That's your power leg.
Yeah.
It's also what you put your weight on when you're backing up. If you're backing up to get away from combos and your back leg's fucked, you're not going to be able to back up as much. That's when you get tagged.
I love seeing the fighters run away, like when they turn around and run.
Like Nate Diaz, how he
It's
was just
so
fucking putting his back
dangerous.
to Leon
It's
Edwards all the
so
time.
dangerous. Oh, Leon, that was fun.
That was.
He was just trying to be like his brother.
All right, we're an hour and a half in, boys.
Yeah, I'm good.
Anybody else?
Ben Rothwell laugh after this. Don't want to get sued by UFC.
Top 15 next week?
Top 15.
Any comments on top 15?
No, not yet.
Okay.
GSP number. Or could be. Or could be.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. I'm literally, as soon as we stop this, I'm going to start making my list. You guys down to play spades? Dylan, do you know spades?
You want to play space?
I'm gonna dip home.
Okay. All right, so we're going to get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week when we go over our top 15 list, and then make sure you tune in on July 10th when we have our monthly pay-per-view live stream reaction for UFC 264 live reactions. We'll be going live July 10th, 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Go follow us on YouTube at MMA Complete Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at complete_MMA. Go follow Naked Sports on YouTube and go check out nakedsports.com where we are now presenting the full presentation and signups for Yard Olympics, which will also be going on July 10th. It's a good time. Warwick, Rhode Island. If you and a couple buddies want to come play yard games, 4 prizes, cash prizes, and gift card prizes. We also are going to have food and drinks, and it's going to be a great time. We'll have little side games that you don't have to pay for and stuff like that. So it's going to be a good time. Go visit nakedsports.com/Yard Olympics for that. You'll also get to meet us over there, which I can't imagine you want to, but if you want to go over there and talk some MMA, we'll be down. We'll all be there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well,
We're terrible people.
Paulo Costa, come meet us at Goddard Park,
If he
Warwick,
show-
Rhode
if he
Island,
showed up,
on July
Zach
10th.
wants to
If
get
you
down.
show up, you can punch me as hard as you can. But
If you can catch me.
just don't drink that much wine beforehand. All right, so we're going to get out of here. Thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week, Thursday at 8 p.m. Go follow us at Twitter at complete_MMA. Thank everybody for tuning around.